go over Unit 31, Title Insurance, and the Uniform Commercial Code. In this unit, we're going to cover title insurance. Is purchased in almost all real estate transactions to make sure the title is marketable. This unit covers the different types of title insurance, policies, coverages, and exclusions. The unit also discusses the Uniform Commercial Code. So this unit is going to cover the following topics: chain of title and abstract of title, standard owner's policy, Alta lender's policy, Alta homeowner's policy, title policy endorsements, Uniform Commercial Code. Okay, so you're gonna have to do a little bit of independent study on your own, and I'll go over the unit quiz and the unit summary. So some of the key points is that marketable title is without clouds or defects. So in order to have a marketable title, it shouldn't have any clouds or shouldn't have any defects. The chain of title is the complete record history of a property. So we call it the chain of title. So if you think about the chain of title is going to have the complete record, recorded history of a property. An abstract is a summary of the chain of title. So we call the abstract. Right? Abstract is going to be just a summary of the chain of title. And that chain of title has all the recorded history of the property. Right? That's what we call the chain of title. A standard owner's policy protects the buyer against title defects that could be determined by a search of the public records, right? And again, anybody can search the public records. The owner's policy does not protect the buyer against existing encumbrances of record, mechanics liens not yet recorded, persons in possession, and encroachments, right? So the owner's policy does not protect the buyer against those things. The Alta policy, called the mortgagee policy, protects the lender and has the same coverage as the standard owner's policy, plus covers many of the exceptions to the owner's policy. An Alta homeowner's policy exceeds the coverage in the standard owner's policy. No title policy covers existing encumbrances of record, defects known to the insured, or changes in zoning ordinances. A title plant is a collection of real estate records maintained by the title companies. It's called a title plant. Subrogation is the substitution of the title company in place of the insured in relation to a claim or debt. A hold open policy is commonly issued to an investor buyer who intends to sell the property within a short period of time. Right. So again, endorsements to title policies, correct, modify, or add other coverages to a policy. So again, a hold open policy is commonly used to an investor buyer who intends to sell the property within a short period of time. The Uniform Commercial Code standardizes many laws across state lines relating to the sale and financing of businesses and personal property. A security agreement creates a lien on personal property. So that's what we call a security agreement. Filing a financial statement, UCC-1, with the Secretary of State prioritizes a lien on personal property. So if you file a financial statement, UCC-1, with the Secretary of State, it's going to prioritize a lien on personal property. So again, the Uniform Commercial Code, right, UCC, standardizes, right, creates a standard of many laws across state lines relating to the state sale and financing of businesses and personal property. Number one, a correction to or alteration of an owner's or lender's title insurance policy is what? Is endorsement, right? Think of endorsing, you're endorsing something, but in real estate, it's a correction to or an alteration of an owner's or lender's title insurance policy. So again, an endorsement is going to be that correction to or an alteration of an owner's or lender's title insurance policy. Is it a subrogation? No. Title insurance commitment? No. Is it a standard coverage? No. Number two, a loan is paid off, but the lender never records the lien release. The property would be what? C, have a cloud on title. So cloud is some sort of defect. So we call having a cloud on the title, some blemish. So a loan is paid off, but the lender never records the lien release. Right. So until the lender records the lien release, the property is going to have a cloud on title. Right. So a cloud on title is when the lender basically didn't record the lien on release, so it still has a cloud, a blemish. So is the property free and clear? No. Be subject to foreclosure? No. Have a cloud on title? No. Require sheriff's action to remove the lien? No. At what point does recordation take place? When you're recording the deed, docket and page numbers are assigned. So at what point does recordation take place? Docket and page numbers are assigned. So at close of escrow date, no. The date the document was signed, no. The date the document was notarized, no. It's docket and page numbers are assigned. That's the point when recordation takes place. A standard title insurance policy includes coverage for items of record which are not disclosed in the policy. So again, a standard title insurance policy includes coverage for items of record which are not disclosed in the policy. The following coverages are contained in both a standard owner's title policy and an Alta homeowner's policy. Coverage for Delta improperly drawn or delivered documents. So if you have improperly drawn or delivered documents, that's the coverages are contained in both a standard owner's title policy and an Alta homeowner's policy. That's going to be for improperly drawn or delivered documents. Is it for building permit violations? No. Restrictive covenant violations? No. Encroachments? No. Number 6, in a standard owner's title insurance policy, the page of exceptions indicates the what? Liens and encumbrances of record. So liens and encumbrances of record is in a standard owner's title insurance policy. The page of exceptions, right, indicates the liens and encumbrances of records. So those liens and encumbrances, tell you what's a lien, is there anything encumbering on your property, and that's going to be covered in a standard owner's title insurance policy. The page of exceptions indicate those liens. So does it indicate the legal description? No. The type of interest being insured? No. Method of ownership for the buyers? No. Schedule B on a title policy would not contain which of the following? So this answer is bravo. The type of conveying deed used. So Schedule B on a title policy would not contain type of conveying deed used. So Schedule B on title policy. So would it contain the liens? Yes. The exceptions? Yes. The CC&Rs? Yes. So Schedule B on a title policy would contain liens, exceptions, CC&Rs, but it would not contain the type of conveying deed that's used. The main difference between an abstract of title and a preliminary title report is bravo. One provides a comprehensive history, and the other addresses items affecting marketable title. So, main difference between an abstract of title and a preliminary title report is one provides a comprehensive history, and the other addresses items affecting marketable title. As one is prepared by an abstractor and the other is prepared by an attorney? No. One lists only standard exceptions and the other lists both standard and special exceptions? No. One is for commercial properties and the other is for residential properties? No. So this one's bravo. One provides a comprehensive history and the other addresses items affecting marketable title. So that's going to be the main difference between an abstract title and a preliminary title report. If solar equipment is leased to secure their interest with the lien, the lessor will require the property owner to execute, Charlie, a security agreement. So, security agreement is if a solar agreement is leased to secure their interest with the lien, the lessor will require the property owner to execute a security agreement. So that security agreement is going to secure the interest. So is the property owner going to execute a deed of trust? No. A mortgage? No. An estoppel agreement? No. It's going to be a security agreement. Merchantable title is bravo, without cloud or defect. So we mentioned if you have a cloud, it's you have a blemish on the title. But if you have a merchantable title, it doesn't have a cloud or a defect. So it's without cloud or defect. So that's merchantable title. Is it insured title? No. Without encumbrances? No. A certificate of title? No. So merchantable title is without cloud or defect. Merchantable title is without cloud or defect. In a business sale, the equipment would be conveyed using a bill of sale. So, bill of sale in a business, right? Business bill of sale. The equipment would be conveyed using a bill of sale. So, the bill of sale in real estate, when you're selling a property, we're selling just real estate. So, if you want to sell like a couch with it, that's obviously going to go on a bill of sale. So it is conveyed using a certificate of sale? No. Chattel security instrument? No. UCC-1? No. To prioritize security agreement signed by a lessee of solar equipment, the lessor may file a UCC-1 financing statement with the Secretary of State. So, to prioritize a security agreement signed by a lessee of solar equipment, the lessor may file a UCC-1 financing statement with the Secretary of State. The leaseholder may record a deed of trust with the county as recorder? No. Require the leasee to record the lease? No. Have a title company conduct a UCC-1 search through the Secretary of State? No. To obtain full disclosure concerning encumbrances, taxes, and assessments, a buyer can order a title insurance policy. So order a title insurance policy. So to obtain full disclosure concerning encumbrances, taxes, and assessments, a buyer can order a title insurance policy. Can they read the listing agreement? No. Read the purchase contract? No. Rely on the seller? No. They can order a title insurance policy to obtain full disclosure. In most real estate sales transactions, the seller evidence good title through a title insurance policy. D. So title insurance policy is where in most real estate sales transactions is where the seller evidences good title through the title insurance policy. Title insurance policy. So in most real estate sales transactions, the seller evidences good title through a title insurance policy. Is it through a title affidavit? No. Torrent certificate? No. Attorney certificate of title? No. Title insurance policy. Which is most likely to reveal all of the owners in a property's history? This is going to be Bravo. Abstract of title. So that's a summary of of the property's history. Right? It's not going to be a chain of title. So what is the most likely? Which is most likely to reveal all of the owners, in a property's history? Certificate of title? No. Abstract of title? Yes. A title report? No. And an affidavit of title? No. When a title insurance company pays a claim and then takes legal action against the party responsible for the claim, it is known as a subrogation. So when a title company pays a claim and then takes legal action against the party responsible for the claim, it is known as subrogation. So I was hit, I got into an accident, and if you've been in an accident, it's called subrogation, right? And it's not your fault. The title company will tell you that they can pay, right? They'll take your deductible. So my deductible was like $500, and they'll take their deductible, and then they'll go after the responsible party for the claim, and then they'll give you back your money, right? So it's called subrogation. Is it called subordination? No. Defeasance? No. Escheat? No. An ALTA policy would be terminated under all of the following circumstances, except what? Answers alpha: sale of the property and assumption of the loan. An ALTA policy would be terminated under all of the following circumstances except sale of the property and assumption of the loan. So sale of the property with the buyer originating a new FHA loan? Yes. Refinancing of the property? Yeah. Accepting of a deed in lieu of foreclosure by the lender? Yeah. Upon receipt of a preliminary title report, a licensee should, Charlie, alert the client to any exceptions that would affect use or ownership rights. So alert the client to an exception that would affect use or ownership rights. This is upon receipt of a preliminary title report. This is what a licensee should do. They should alert the client to any exceptions that would affect use or ownership rights. So should A licensee keep it in the transaction file for 5 years? No. Forward it to the client by mail, by email? No. Compare it to the abstract title? No. A policy of title insurance in favor of the mortgagee insures the lender, right? So lender is where you have a policy of title insurance in favor of the mortgagee, insures the lender, right? Mortgagee, think of lender. So policy of title insurance in favor of the mortgagee insures the seller and lender? No. Owner and lender? No. Owner? No. Just the lender. An owner's title insurance policy will cover claims due to alpha misfiled documents. So if you misfile documents, to owner's title insurance policy will cover claims due to misfiled documents. So an owner's title insurance policy will cover claims. So if they misfiled some documents, that's going to be covered under the insurance policy. What about unrecorded easements? No. Zoning violations? Nope. Future assessments? No. A buyer buys a property for $180,000. The property was first deed of trust for $135,000 and a second deed of trust for $100,000. The buyer will assume the second, but requires that the first be paid in full. What is the order of recordation? So, Bravo, record the deed of reconveyance, then the general warranty deed. So, record the deed of reconveyance. So, a buyer buys a property for $180,000. The property has a first deed of trust for $135,000 and a second deed of trust for $100,000. The buyer will assume the second, but requires that the first be paid in full. What's the order of recordation? So record the deed of conveyance first, then the general warranty deed. So A, record a general warranty deed, then the deed of reconveyance? No. Record a quitclaim deed and a deed of reconveyance? No. Record two quitclaim deeds? No. So you want to record the deed of reconveyance, and then you want to record the general warranty deed. When is a preliminary title report or commitment for title insurance issued? So this one's before closing. So before closing is when a preliminary title report or commitment for title insurance is issued. So before closing. So it's during closing? No. After closing? No. When the deed is recorded? No. A summary of the history of a title is called the abstract of title. So abstract title, abstract or summary of the history of a title is called the abstract of title. So B says certificate of title, no. Chain of title, no. Torrens certificate, no. Upon review of a title report, an attorney finds gaps in the chain of ownership. What should the owner do to correct these title defects? Bravo, file a quiet title action. So file a quiet title action. So upon review of a title report, an attorney finds gaps in the chain of ownership. What should the owner do to correct these title defects? File a quiet title action. So that's when you have gaps in the chain of ownership. So should they obtain title insurance? No. Secure an affidavit of title? No. Obtain an affidavit of ownership from the county administration? No. A chain of title is a listing of all recorded instruments affecting the title. So a listing of all recorded instruments affecting the title is what we call a chain of title. So listing of all recorded instruments affecting the title. It's a chain of title. So is it a measurement used by a surveyor? No. Certificate of title? No. List of the heirs of a deceased owner? No. A UCC would be used in a transaction that included alpha personal property of a business. So personal property of a business is when you have a UCC would be used in a transaction that included personal property of a business. So personal property of a business, that's where you have a UCC used in a transaction. Commercial real property, no. Rolling options via a bulk sale, no. A lease on a real estate, no. Which of the following items is covered by a standard owner's policy of title insurance? This one's going to be Delta. Forgeries. So forgeries is covered by a standard owner's policy of title insurance. It's called forgeries. Encroachments, no. Survey errors, no. Person in possession, no. It's forgeries. A title policy that is issued to an investor who intends to sell the property in a short amount of time is called, bravo, hold open policy. So hold open policy is a title policy that is issued to an investor who intends to sell the property in a short amount of time. All right, that's called a hold open policy. Selling the property in a short amount of time. Is it a trustee's policy? No. An endorsed policy? No. Standard owner policy? No. All right, next up, we're going to go over Unit 32, which is settlement and prorations.